right? Because, well, it's the US, it's national security. It's like when the Afghan-Iraq thing was going to happen, all George Bush needed to say was, this is about national security.
Yeah.
And everyone is just like, whoop, yep, them all. It's done. That alone already makes it true from my perspective. But I also agree with you that it's changing rapidly. White Americans are overly patriotic, so they're seen as excessively nationalistic or blindly loyal to American symbols and traditions.
Yeah, that is true. I'm not sure I think it's rapidly changing. I don't know why, but people are having divided ideas and opinions on things right now. But for the most part, I think the goal is for them to also try to have that strongly again. But yeah, they do have that. They do have this sense of nationality, sense of pride, sense of duty to the country. Yeah.
I agree with you that it's true, especially because it's so true that it will blind an average American, an average white, especially white America. I mean, Black America is a separate world on their own, and other races in America. America is quite segregated by race. But white Americans especially, they are very nationalistic, and it's so true to the point that they are also blinded towards the bad things that the US would do to other countries, right? Because, well, it's the US, it's national security. It's like when the Afghan-Iraq thing was going to happen, all George Bush needed to say was, this is about national security.
Yeah.
And everyone is just like, whoop, yep, them all. It's done. That alone already makes it true from my perspective. But I also agree with you that it's changing rapidly. And you can see it, for example, with the Donald Trump tariff bit, where a lot of Americans are like, hey, pause, what are you doing? Right? And then the US tried to use the same agenda line of, oh, it's for our country. The China is the aggressor. Like, hey, pause. We know what's going on here. So I think it might be down to the fact that information dissemination is just better, right?
It's independent
like now they have multiple sources.
Yeah.
And all these multiple sources at least bring in that doubt. So this is not to say that it's an inherent behavior. I think it's just a factor of how they have been programmed. And I use program lightly here, but how the system
has been designed
to make them think in a particular way, and that's breaking now because the system just don't have control of what everyone digests anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Technology has changed that a lot, and I feel like that might be one hope for Africa that I'm like really banking on, in terms of it's really, really difficult to convince the world, if you are doing something bad now, that you are the good guy because of this that you just mentioned. But 20, 30 years ago, you can just really perpetrate or like start something really evil and still tell your people like, yo, it's for national security, we are defending ourselves. But right now, before CNN or BBC or Fox News can even get to the news, some random person on TikTok or Instagram already started a live, and you can see for yourself and decide for yourself that this is what is going on, or this was how you went down, and that really is good. It's good.
Yeah. And I think it's creating a lot of, so you see, for example, the new Pope talked about wars all over the world, and he was calling for ceasefires and negotiations and all that stuff. And basically, he called for a ceasefire in Gaza, almost saying Israel has to stop now. But this is a very interesting perspective for the new Pope to take, because he's an American Pope as well, right? He's an American, the new Pope is American, and he took this stance of Israel, you need to stop. That's an interesting stance when you think about it.
Yeah.
That stance would have been completely impossible if it was just the BBC and the CNN that we still have today. It would have been impossible. Like whatever was going on there, or whatever is going on there, would have just heard, oh, Israel is trying to defend themselves. That's all we would have heard.
That's why, to a large extent, in my opinion, why the US is really struggling right now. Because I believe strongly, like, they've done some really, really evil shit in the past that they were able to get away with. But right now, and the divide that we are seeing in white American, as we are seeing, and across like all other races in the country, because people can verify things themselves. Like before, the whole China is the bad guy, Russia is the bad. Russia, they were able to do that completely with Russia, and an average American, white, black, will tell you, yeah, Russia is bad. Simple. But now they can't necessarily do that to China because people can verify. Look at the TikTok drama that happened. People had to go to some other app and they saw how China is. And they're like,
Yeah.
damn, we're in a third world country here, man. Like, so it's not possible as before, which
Yeah.
is good.
It's very interesting because for me, I've always held the position of every country for themselves just mean that everyone is bad. There might be worse countries, but there's no good country in the world. Yeah, from my perspective, there's absolutely no good country in the world. But Americans at that time used to think we are the good guys.
Yeah.
Even though there's just no good guy, there's a bad
Yeah.
and the worst guy, and
Yeah.
this is very subjective, but there's definitely no good guy. Anyways,
Yeah.
that one, I think we're also on the same page. It's very interesting with this one that we haven't found anyone that we have a slightly different opinion. But let's see, we keep going.